that in about a month from now, and that's going to show a massive spike. When we see a massive spike like that, that means massive higher raise in your monthly benefit. Anyway, let's pop this up right here, right now. Feel free to read through the details on this. Now, as I mentioned, this is literally a screenshot of an email that I received from BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they're talking about the PPI, Producer Price Index. What this is, it's an inflationary measure of prices on the wholesale level. So not the retail level, not what we pay at our stores, but rather this is the wholesale level for producers, right? So what it means is that this gives inflationary measurements of wholesale price increases. In other words, when somebody buys something wholesale, what do? They turn around and sell it retail, right? So when they're paying higher prices at the wholesale level, guess what's going to happen to the retail price at the stores? You know what's going to happen. Higher prices at the stores on the retail level, because that's what happens. If they pay a higher price at wholesale, they pass that right along to the retail price, which is the end consumer, you and me, that are buying things at our stores right off the shelf, okay? So basically what this is, it's an early warning sign, an early warning shot saying, hey, we're paying way more at the wholesale level. That means retail, get ready. We're going to jack up retail prices significantly very, very soon. Okay, now here's the shocking part about this. As you could see in that screenshot that I shared with you, on a month-over-month basis, okay, get this, month-over-month basis, wholesale prices increased by 0.7%. 0.7% on a month-over-month basis. That's very high, okay? That should not be that high. The expectation was 0.3%. They more than doubled the expectation, okay? On a year-over-year basis, wholesale prices are up 3.4%. Now, that's just on a year-over-year basis, but here's what's interesting about this. If we annualize the 0.7% increase on a month-over-month basis, remember, I just said that the prices went up by 0.7% on a month-over-month basis. If we annualize that 0.7%, that comes up with an 8.4% increase on a year-over-year basis if we continue to run at the same pace over the next year. That's scary. 8.4% is what we are pacing at right now if we continue this trajectory for the next year. You get that? That's scary. That's very, very scary for a lot of people, right? That means significantly higher prices coming. Now, here's the other canary in the coal mine that I want to point out that a lot of people may not be considering, or that they may be missing, which is, this is February's data. February. Not much happened in February. Considering we're in March, what has happened in March? Prices have gone up substantially on a lot of things in the month of March. My point being is that in about a month from now, when we get the next PPI data point, this 0.7 on a month-over-month basis is going to get blown out of the water when we get another report out of the PPI in about a month from now, because in the month of March, we've seen things skyrocket in price, most notably because of energy, because of oil prices that have gone up literally 40 to 50+% just in the last month or so. We've seen this go up, and guess what happens? When we see high energy prices, what does it do? It increases price on everything. When we see high oil prices, it increases the price on everything through higher inflation. So get ready. In the middle of April, when we get the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which is the inflationary measure that we generally look at, that's retail, right? So that's what we pay. That's on the retail level. But then when we also get, just days later, we get the PPI, the Producer Price Index on the wholesale level, we're going to see both of those figures skyrocket from the month of March, okay? We're going to get that data out in the middle of April, okay? Anyway, how does this translate into your Social Security? I've been sitting here rambling and ranting and chanting about inflation on the wholesale level and things like that, CPI and PPI and all these inflationary measures. But what does this mean for you and your monthly benefit check as a Social Security beneficiary? Good question. Remember, how do they determine the raise to our monthly benefit? They use the inflation data from the CPI-W, the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which is a inflationary data point buried within the CPI numbers. That's what they use to determine how much of a raise we're going to be getting. So based on this data, it may not be too far-fetched to see a 5 or 6% inflationary number